Close your eyes and picture an apple. Now, imagine seeing absolutely nothing. Not darkness, not black, just nothing at all. For millions of people, is exactly how their minds work. And scientists are only beginning to understand why. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a bright red apple. Maybe you see its round shape, the shine on its skin, maybe even the stem curling off the top. For most people, that little mental snapshot appears almost instantly, like a photograph developing behind the eyelids. But what if you closed your eyes and saw absolutely nothing? Not darkness, not a blur, just nothing at all. No image, no color, no shape. Just the quiet hum of your own thoughts with no picture to go with them. It sounds strange, maybe even unsettling, but for somewhere between 2 and 5% of the population, this is exactly what happens. They are asked to imagine something familiar, a sunset, a loved one's face, a childhood bedroom, and their mind offers no visual at all. For years, many of these people assumed everyone else was speaking metaphorically when they talked about seeing things in their heads. They thought phrases like, "picture this," or "imagine that," were just figures of speech, not literal descriptions of what was happening behind someone else's eyes. It wasn't until 2015 that this experience finally got a name. A neurologist in England was studying a patient who had lost the ability to form mental images after a minor surgery. Intrigued, the doctor began asking others if they had never been able to visualize in the first place. To his surprise, dozens of people came forward saying they had lived their entire lives without a single mental picture. He gave the condition a formal label, aphantasia, from the Greek words meaning without imagination. The discovery sent ripples through the scientific world because it suggested something remarkable. The human brain's ability to create images might not be universal after all. So what is life actually like for someone with aphantasia? At first glance, you might assume it would be a serious disadvantage. How do you remember a place you've been if you can't replay it like a movie in your head? How do you plan a project, design a building, or even recall the face of someone you love? The answer, it turns out, is that the brain finds other paths. People with aphantasia often rely heavily on words, spatial awareness, and abstract concepts. Instead of seeing a map in their mind, they might remember directions as a list of turns and landmarks described in language. Instead of picturing a loved one's smile, they hold on to the feeling that smile gives them, the warmth, the familiarity, the emotional weight, without needing a visual to anchor it. This leads to one of the most surprising twists in the story. You might expect that people without mental imagery would struggle in creative fields, but the opposite is often true. Some of the most successful artists, engineers, and scientists have aphantasia. They build stunning works of art, design complex machines, and solve intricate problems, all without ever seeing the finished product in their heads first. Their creativity doesn't come from a mental canvas. It comes from deep thinking, careful observation, and a powerful ability to work with ideas in non-visual ways. what does all of this look like inside the brain? Modern brain scans have started to give us clues. When most people are asked to imagine something, a network of regions lights up, especially areas involved in vision and memory. It's as if the brain is borrowing the machinery it uses for actual sight and repurposing it for imagination. In people with aphantasia, those same visual regions show far less activity. The visual parts of the brain stay quiet, as if the connection between thought and image has been dialed down or rerouted. Yet, other areas, those linked to language, logic, and spatial reasoning, often work harder, compensating in ways scientists are only beginning to understand. The discovery of aphantasia has done more than just name a rare condition. It has forced us to rethink what we assume about the human mind. For centuries, we have treated mental imagery as a basic, universal experience, something everyone shares. Now we know that is not the case. Some people think in pictures, some in words, some in feelings, and some in ways we don't yet have words for. The mind, it seems, is far more diverse than we ever imagined. So, the next time someone tells you to just picture it, remember that for a small but significant part of the population, that instruction means something entirely different. And perhaps that difference is not a limitation at all, but a reminder that there is more than one way to see the world, even when your eyes are closed. If you found this fascinating, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what your mind's eye looks like.